Tallulah, and this is my vlog. For some reason, whenever I always want to say your vlog, but it's not, darling. If you want a vlog, get your own vlog. I mean, that sounds rude. I'm just saying it's me in front of the camera, not you. But I'm hoping that you're not behind. I'm getting in a pickle. Anyway, welcome to Tallulah's vlog. Welcome to my vlog. Welcome, Lulu. Bonjour, Lulu. We both got hats on, because why not, darling? One should try and wear a hat from time to time. I've had an injury, a sports injury, so if you see me lurching, it's because I'm in agony, but I'm carrying on. Because that, darling, listen, I just read about a man who ran a marathon every single day for over a year. Picture that. He ran through agony. Every single night he would get up and run a marathon. I'm not quite sure. He must have just run the same 26 miles, because obviously there aren't marathons every day. And anyway, he's written a book called The Marathon Man, obviously well titled, so you could watch that. Anyway, we're not talking about marathons today, although I used to be a competitive runner. I did, darling, Scotland's dream until I tore my arch muscle. Anyway, so Scotland's, anyway, this is not to say, but it was 100 meters. I used to sprint. As one can imagine, I'm a sprinter of speech and a sprinter. Holster finds that. Oh, my ear is popped. Anyway. Carry on. This is a question from Judith from Bristol saying, it's a complicated question, so get ready. Saying, when I'm boiling water up to boiling point, it becomes a health and safety issue. How can this be avoided? Basically, Judith, I get what you're saying is, how can one boil water safely? Now, this is a very serious question, so I'm going to give you several serious points of answer to this. First of all, ask yourself very calmly, Judith, does water need to be boiled? Is it absolutely necessary? Could this be done with cold water or hot water from the tap? If not, if this is for some reason an absolute dire necessity to boil water, one has to take various measures. First of all, have you slept well? Have you, Judith? Are you well in mind? Because you do not want to boil water and fall asleep on the job and wake up in some sort of overboiled, Noah's Ark type situation, or boiling water in your kitchen and boil yourself to death. I mean, that should be avoided. So you do not want to be in any way tired when you are boiling water, okay? Make sure that you're well. If you have got any questions about this, ask your doctor. Phone up, get an appointment, Judith. Go in and sit and say, do you think I'm fit of mind to boil water? She'll be able to tell you. Because I don't know, if you're on medication, that's another consideration. But imagining the doctor says, yes, you're fit as a fiddle, Judith, go ahead and boil water. Okay, so then obviously make sure there are no distractions. No television on, no radio on. Try and close the windows, so in case any bird flies in, you don't have to have any weird distraction. Close the doors, away from children. Children and animals should be out of the room, Judith, at all times, dealing with boiled water. You don't know, somebody might grab it, a chicken might fly up. I don't know what kind of animals you have, but they should not be anywhere near a pot of boiling water. Okay. If you're worried about your eyes, wear goggles, Judith. Maybe a mask. I mean, I don't know whether you're familiar with the Blitz, but the Blitz in London, people had those, well, no, not even just the Blitz, just a general gas mask. You can get them here. I live in Los Angeles, there's earthquake kits and people have gas masks. So if you think you need one of those, Judith, get one. Or a hazmat suit, one of those all-in-one things. You can probably buy them on the internet from some sort of, hazmat suit site. So I would say get one of those if you need to protect yourself even further. And then proceed with caution, Judith. I mean, they often say put some salt in the water, but I would be very careful with that because that can give a more voracious boil. But if you feel that you can salt it, then salt it. Now, obviously, today's prescribed sandwich recipe is going to do with boiling water, Judith, because imagine that you are able to boil water. Obviously, you want to do something with that boiling water, not just look at it through your hazmat goggles. So I say throw a hot dog in there. Put a hot dog in your pot of boiling water, Judith, and boil it up for 30 seconds or whatnot, and then put it in a bun, and then put ketchup and mustard, et voila, bon appetit. And that hot dog recipe will be in the bit below. And if anyone has any other questions about any other thing in the kitchen that you are worried about, health and safety, or otherwise, ask away. Yours in feathers, Tallulah.